Hello there everybody, and welcome to a side adventure to my usual hikes. Crow, my youngest child, is, well, they're a vulture, and they are very interested in collecting and preserving bones. And when I told them about the Hatfield Twp Nature Area, where I came and hiked on New Year's Day, I mentioned that I thought it might be a really good place to find bones. Well, this is the first Sunday that they have not been scheduled to work, and so I got cornered and said, "Mom, can you take me out looking for bones?" So we're going to go out and look for bones. I don't know if we're going to find anything.
I mean, we're already off to a good start. I found a fragment.
Oh, show it to the camera.
So you can tell because it's got those holes in it. Not sure if it's going to focus on anything but us. But it's got the holes in it, and I just tried breaking it apart in the background, and it's solid. So we got our first bone fragment. We put that in the bag.
Crow's going to be doing most of the narration for this. I'm just along as the cameraman. So,
to ask questions because I can't.
Right.
Discussion.
I'm here to be the dummy in the conversation. So, it's another very chilly day. It's 14 degrees right now. So, and since we're not going to be hiking as heavily, I think I'm going to layer up a little bit more than I did on my last hike. So, and Crow found a pumpkin. All right, let's get and see what we can find.
Oh, I have one of these at home. Except it's only like the top part that's really filled with a bunch of dirt.
Well, that can soak out.
And there's a brown one over here. You can see it right there.
So Crow found this really cool structure, and looking at it, it goes all the way down here and comes around here and faces right onto the creek. And you can kind of see how it's rounded there. I think at some point this was probably a dam. And knowing how these creeks have been used historically, that makes me think that Hatfield may have at some point here had, I don't know, a tannery or a grain mill or something like that, that this water was used to help power. But with flooding over time, it's kind of cut into the banks around the side and now just bypasses the whole thing. We see signs of a lot of flooding in this area. The whole creek along both sides. It's covered with trash and but not like somebody dragged their dead refrigerator out here and threw it. It's a lot of broken glass and a lot of bits and pieces. So it looks like this probably floods fairly regularly. Oh, Crow found something cool.
What's that?
That's beautiful.
It's really cool. I also found the shell, which I'm not sure how well I can show off. No bones yet, but you know what?
So lots of interesting treasures. We haven't had any luck finding any bones yet, but this is just a very, like I knew it would be when I came out here for the initial hike. It's a very interesting place. There's a lot of really cool big trees that are just begging somebody to climb, and lots of creeks to poke around in. Crow keeps trying to walk out on the ice, which is making me absolutely frantic. But I'm like, okay, you go in, you're gonna get wet. I'm not carrying you home. All right, we're gonna keep poking around, see what else we find.
That's even better than
Thank goodness I have waterproof boots.
I'm only gonna be able to get out half of it. But you can see the other half is in there.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool! Yo!
Now, red blaze, red blaze, red blaze. So let's see if we can follow the blazes and see how much of a trail there is here. There's the gray. Oh yeah. Because this would be a great place to just take you guys and set you loose. Alright, so we made it back to the car. not surprising, that wasn't terribly challenging. Crow is very cold. They're hiding out in the car because they're starting to feel pain in their hands. My hands, like I said in one of my other videos, after the first half hour, they got nice and warm and I didn't have any problems. If you watched my previous video out here and I was complaining about not being able to find a lot of the trails, there was good reason I couldn't find a lot of the trails. We did find the rest of the red trail today, but there is no trail. All we had to go by were red blazes on the trees, and the very faintest of deer paths leading us out to the high meadow, that big open space with the benches. And coming out of that, we found the gray trail. So next time I may come out here and try and poke down the gray trail. So again, and we were way out of, I presume out of the preserve area, just following the creek, but didn't find many bones. Found a lot of other cool treasures, a lot of shells, a lot of glass. We found a electrical resistor from a power line somewhere that got washed upstream. It was buried pretty hard in the mud and frozen, so we couldn't get that out. But so it's just a very interesting place to explore. Crow and I were talking about how disappointed we were that we didn't find this sooner. I mean, we've lived in the area for over 20 years, and this would have been a great place to bring the kids out and just set them loose to go climb trees and run around in the woods like wild animals. All right, well, thanks for coming along on this little adventure, and I'm sure we'll find other fun things to explore with you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.